All right, all right. Well, here we are. This is in the middle of summer here in Texas. It's actually been quite an easy summer so far. We haven't hit 100, but just a couple of times maybe. But this weekend's going to be one of those. So, and I know I'm anticipating having to spend some time in a tent, about a week's worth coming up, and I'll probably film that my next little road trip, but I'm going to have a tent and, you know, all this good stuff. But that being said, this little project is not anything to do with small engines this time. I'm making, and I'm sure you've seen plenty of them out on YouTube and everywhere else. I'm converting a cooler and turning it into like almost like a swamp cooler. You know, I'll have fans going into it, you know, blowing over the ice and all that good stuff and exiting out the other side. And they actually work pretty good. And especially in a tent, you know, you can actually cool a tent off pretty handily with one of these things, as long as you have some water and ice, you know. But, well, let me show you my version of it. Yeah, so I went and picked up this cooler. Actually, it was towards the end of last summer when I got these, and they were dirt cheap. It's an Igloo. There's nothing to it, no latch and all that good stuff, because I knew I was going to be cutting it up here on the top. And you can see I've already marked off the templates here. This is for the fans, and this one's on the output. The fans I'm using, these are USB powered. Oh, I forget how much power these come out, and the CFM, I'll have to look it back up. You know, it's been a while since I bought these things, but it looks like they're going to work perfect. And the reason I did them USB powered, I have a 10,000 milliamp hour battery, so it's one of those little portable USB batteries, and it's a pretty large one, and it'll power this thing no problem for quite a long time. And then I can recharge it, you know, overnight or during the day or whatever. But you can see where I've marked those off. And I'm leaving room. I'm going to mount the battery right here. And I'll leave room just in case this isn't enough air pumping through. I can double up and have 4 of these on here, right? But for now, I'm just going to try with 2. To mark the templates, see, you can see all my PVC stuff here. This is a coupler, and the OD is 4.5 inches, which matches this perfectly. So I'm going to use that as my template. And the reason why I did this, you know, because this lid is hollow, and, you know, approximately what, an inch and a half deep or so. So I'm going to, you know, cut this down to size, and I'm going to slide this down into the hole so it'll seal off. You know, since this thing is hollow, I wanted to seal it off. So that's what I'm going to use with this. Once I cut it, I'm going to slide it down, you know, and that'll be 2 of those. Let's see. Here on the output, so I found these, and I forgot what the difference is. The reason why I got this one, this is a fixture, I think, for a toilet. But if you see, I can slide that right down in there, right? And it'll be a pretty tight fit. The reason why I want to do that, I'm cutting this. Sorry about that. So I'm going to be able to have this sitting right there. And when I slide it down, this is going to be on the underside. And I'm going to be able to sandwich it in, right? That'll be sticking through, and all I got to do is just press fit this thing on, and this will be screwed onto the top. Sorry if you didn't see what I was doing. Yeah. So that will be mounted there. So, and some guys, you know, that's all they do, and then you just fill up this thing with ice, and then let the air blow over the top of the ice and out. But I happen to have, well, here's a piece. I have some more over there. I have some copper tubing left over from one of my projects, like that air compressor, that gas air compressor. One of them needed some copper tubing replaced, so I have a lot of extra. So what I'm thinking, I haven't finalized this one yet, but I'm going to bend up some of this copper pipe. I have a longer piece, a coil, so I'm going to have it running along the bottom, here, with it bending up, and then a coil, you know, round or whatever, just and have it elevated up to this point, right? So that while the air's blowing down over the ice, well, this copper tubing will be transferring the thermals up to the top here on this coil, so the exiting air will get that little extra little temperature drop before it exits. Does that make sense? So that's what I'm going to do. And it looks to be fairly easy. I'm just going to cut the holes. Have a jigsaw. There's the drill bit, the jigsaw, and then once I'm ready to put these fans down, I only need these bottom screws, right? So I'll take the top ones off and find a longer screw that I can go down with it. So it looks like it'll need about 1.5 inches or so, and that's where it'll sit. I just don't need the top bumpers on there. And that's the way it'll sit, and I'll show you the battery once I get all this done. let's give it a quick test. This is the battery I was talking about. So it's USB, and I'll probably mount it like right here vertical, so I can plug it in on one side and I still have room for 2 more fans if I need to. But this is what I want to test. I want to test the CFM coming out of the front here. And this does have a speed control. It's super quiet. Yeah, so that's not bad. It's not a big gust of wind, but I'm sure once there's ice in there and everything's cooled off, it's going to feel great. It's like putting the AC on low. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna mount this. I think I'm gonna 3D print some kind of bracket so that I can mount this right here. And I probably will add 2 more fans. You can see with the USB, I can daisy chain these. Looks like it. I think that's what that's for. So that would be cool. Super quiet. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get 2 more fans coming in. In the meantime, I will start working on my copper tubing and make some kind of grid up here near the top. Yeah, alright. Alright, got all this mounted, got the fans going, and you see underneath how, so the lid is sealed, that's sandwiched in, and this is my little copper tubing. That's just what I had left. I want to see how cold the copper tubing gets up here, just to see if that'll help while the air is exiting the egress, and see if that helps cool it off. So I went and got a bag of ice, and let's dump this in. And that's just 1 bag. Yeah, I can feel the pipe getting colder. It's very cold down here. Let's see if it makes its way up to the top. That'll be interesting. I wish I had a thermistor. I have one. I don't know what happened to it. Here's my battery. So you can see how I'm going to mount that down. It slides in the slot and it clicks in right there. So here's a little thermometer. Kind of hard to read. It's showing about 90 degrees. And we'll see what difference it makes. The specs on this, I did look them up. Each fan has 52 CFM, so 104 total. I am going to double that up. I'm going to add 2 more fans here. The battery was a 20,000 milliamp hour, so it was double what I was thinking of at first, which is good. And I think it was 18 or 19 dBA, so it's very quiet. You can't even hear it. Oh yeah, man, that feels good. Let's see what the temperature drops down to, because it is hot out here. It was reading 90 degrees earlier. Oh, it's on medium. Oh man, that feels good. But it's real low. I think 2 fans will do it. All right, it's working, and it really feels good. I think I need a little more. The next time you see, well, I'm going to add 2 more fans. Get a little more airflow in it, and I'll continue to do some more testing, I'm sure, with 2 more fans, with another bag of ice. Of course, you can cool your beverages in it still also, so I might do that. and what else? And I'll do some more testing. Like right now, it started at 90 degrees, and it's about at 76 or so. 76, 78, something like that. So it's getting down there. It's slow moving, but I'm sure if I have more ice in it and all that good stuff. Plus, I want to take a temperature reading on that copper tubing and see if it's helping at all. Right? I guess I can take a measurement before I add ice, you know, as it's just sitting there. Then after I add the ice, and see what how cool the copper tubing gets up at the top while it's exiting, you know. So, but other than that, I think it's going to work quite well. Man, it sure feels cool, and it's going to be worth its weight in gold in a tent when it's this hot. So, well, that's it. That's my version of a cooler air conditioner. So, I guess that's it for this video, and once again, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and watch for my next video.